Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Wednesday, September 13th, 2017, and you're tuned in to episode 329 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day is the unfortunate news out of Michigan that the state's Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs announced yesterday that existing medical marijuana dispensaries have until December 15th to shut down or else risk not getting an operating license under the new scheme set to roll out next year. As I reported yesterday, 2/3 of the state's medical marijuana patients, or around 167,000 people, are thought to get their medicine from dispensaries and will be forced to scramble to find caregivers to fill in. State officials say they hope to have the new round of licenses handed out sometime in the first quarter of next year. This is a terrible decision on so many levels, from a patient access point of view to the employees of the dispensaries who are going to lose their source of income for an untold number of months, to say nothing of the dispensary owners and operators who will be forced to shutter operations while carrying all the associated costs of being open while they await the state's decisions. I'm sure we'll be reporting back on this one plenty more in the future. Gage Peak and Bruce Barcott over at Leafly put together a great piece estimating the number of full-time jobs that legal cannabis is providing in each of the nation's 31 states with some form of legal marijuana, medical or otherwise. In all, they estimate that there are just under 150,000 full-time jobs associated with legal cannabis throughout the country, with a nice breakdown by state found over on their piece at Leafly, which I encourage you to visit. Unsurprisingly, California leads the pack of legal states with just over 47,000 full-time jobs, with Washington and Colorado at a virtual tie with 26,000 jobs each, and Michigan actually coming in fourth with 12,500 industry jobs. This year's mark was 22% up over their estimate last year of 122,814 cannabis jobs. Our final top story of the day is the analysis run by the Cannabist that estimates that Colorado, for the first time ever, sold more than $100 million in adult use marijuana in a month. They ran the numbers for July sales, which were recently released by the state, and calculate that $101.1 million of the $137 million monthly total were from adult use products. The math for this month is a little complicated by a change in the state's cannabis tax structure, so we'll see how that total holds in future months, but so far the state's cannabis sales numbers have shown little sign of shrugging off strong growth. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, MJ Today Media, which makes all sorts of handy podcasts and newsletters that you should now be well aware of. Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of our patron supporters, those listeners and readers who help pay for all the good work we do by contributing some of their hard-earned money every month. We have patron supporters who give a few dollars a month all the way up to our Century Club members who support our work at the $100 a month level and higher. But no matter what the level, we love and appreciate each and every person who supports us because, I'll be honest, it makes an enormous difference in our ability to survive and thrive. If you've ever thought about becoming a patron supporter yourself, today's the day. To sign up as a patron supporter, just open up mjtodaydaily.com and click on the big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. Support independent marijuana media and help make sure that this podcast is still around for episode 1329. That's mjtodaydaily.com, big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. And a huge thanks to all of our awesome existing patron listeners. Thank you so much. All right, time for the Blitz. Turning north to Canada, we have the Premier of British Columbia saying that his province won't likely follow the example set by Ontario, which just announced their plans to monopolize the provincial marijuana industry by controlling all dispensaries and online sales. British Columbia Premier John Horgan recently gave an interview on The John McComb Show and said that he wanted to see a system set up that allowed entrepreneurs to get involved, but stopped short of giving any firm deadlines on when details of their plans would be released. Canadian provinces have until next summer to work out the particulars for how they will regulate legal adult use sales. The marijuana industry is using a heck of a lot of power. is the quote given in a good Cannabis piece diving into the unique challenges power companies in the Mile High State have to deal with. That quote was made by Dan Hodges, Government Affairs Liaison for the Colorado Springs Utilities, during a recent conference held to specifically discuss the nexus of energy generation and legal marijuana cultivation. This is a good one to click over and read, if only to get a better handle on some of the unseen complexities being raised in a post-prohibition world still strangled by thin tentacles of federal prohibition. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. California Governor Jerry Brown just signed a bill into law that bans people from consuming marijuana while driving or riding in a car. The law, which goes into effect January 1st, will hit offenders with a $70 fine. The city of Denver, Colorado just released details for their new budget, which include millions of dollars in marijuana tax revenue. In all, $10 million in cannabis tax funds will be used by the city to pay for transportation and parks-related projects. Jumping up to my corner of the country up here in Maine, we find a proposed bill in the State House that would, among other things, set the retail tax rate for adult-use marijuana to 20%, while also allowing medical marijuana dispensaries to be structured as for-profit entities rather than nonprofit organizations that they currently have to be. The proposed bill, LR 2395, would also allow for public use social clubs to start up in the summer of 2019, as well as allowing for internet sales and delivery services. Click over to the Portland Press Herald to read the entirety of the 70-page proposed bill. Tom Angel over at Forbes has a good piece up about an alleged discussion had by high-level executives with the outdoor gear giant REI about the possibility of getting into the legal marijuana business. Apparently, the talks didn't go too far, as the company is now denying that it is, in any official capacity, thinking about becoming a cannabis retailer. Even still, it's not that hard to imagine cannabis products on the shelves at REI, so who knows what the future holds. Certainly would make dividend check day a little more exciting. And finally for today, Nevada Governor Brian Sandoval has reiterated his opposition to the idea of allowing businesses to set up space for customers to consume marijuana. Nevada has a problem on its cannabis hands now that it allows for the sale of adult-use marijuana, but does not provide any place where one can legally use it outside of a private home, which locks out just about everyone coming into the state for tourism purposes. This is a particular problem for Nevada, given how many tourists do fly in for vacation and recreation. Yesterday, Governor Sandoval told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that he didn't want to raise the ire of federal officials by allowing for commercial public use, even as his state's Legislative Council Bureau just found that doing so would break no state laws. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, MJ Today Media, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with marijuana today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.